Wake up, America! Good morning, Professor Ellis. We are currently coming to you live from Marion Jeff Bell Library because we had no other meeting places to meet. We are currently in the periodical section, preferably history, so this is going to be interesting. So now we're going to start our introduction. So our presentation is entitled Wake Up America. And our general purpose is to inform the class, or you, of the American immigration process. And then our specific purpose is to inform the class of the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, or DACA, underneath the immigration process. Yes, our credibility statement. This is credible simply because this is part of American life. This is how people become American citizens within our country. So therefore, this subject is credible. Relating to the audience, many students who go to this university or other universities have about roughly over half of the student body, according to Forbes, they are DACA recipients, and they do use DACA to go to school. So that relates to the audience. And our central idea statement is basically saying that immigration reform is necessary, and we're going to give you 2 points from the Republicans, 2 points from the Democrats, and then we are going to break it down for you and tell you how to get involved and how to educate yourself on DACA and things of that nature. So I'll hand it over to Sue.
Good morning, Professor Ellis. Today I'm going to describe what is DACA. Oh, I'm sorry. So DACA is short for Deferred Action for Children Arrivals, and in this program what it does is it gives undocumented children a limited citizenship as well as work eligibility to work, and as well just give them entry to the United States, and let them live that American dream. As well as 100,000 individuals are qualified to age in this program. Next would be the history on DACA. So the creator of DACA was created and signed by former President Barack Obama, and this was in 2012. Why is DACA important? Well, Obama and his administration believe that it isn't the child's fault that they were brought into the United States illegally. So they just feel like they just want a better life, and it's not the children's fault as to why they were brought here. They didn't know they were newborns, or in some cases they're just growing up here in the United States. Some facts on DACA: there's certain eligibility requirements. So one, you must be at least 15 years old when applying, but under the age of 31. Second requirement would be you have to be under the age of 16 entering the United States. A third requirement would be you have to be in school or have graduated or completed high school in order to fully become a U.S. citizen. And the fourth one would be not convicted of a felony or a significant misdemeanor, meaning you can't have you can't have any criminal records in your criminal records. Some statistics on DACA: it gives approximately 70,000 students permanent protection, and the DACA program allows for them not to be deported, and it just gives them aspect to protect them in their lives. Another statistic would be it gives students work permits, allows them to get jobs, and 91% of them, of the DACA students, were employed, and 93% are employed over the age of 25. And I can personally say that I have friends who were in the DACA program and are in them right now, and they have, when we were in high school at 16, they got a job and they had to go through this too. And I know that it was like $495, I think, for them to do the whole process of DACA. And going on to what I was talking about, the process on DACA, there's a 7-page application you have to submit, and that's what I was saying. My friends had to do that whole process too, and they said it was very time consuming and it was really expensive as well. A second thing you have to do is submit documentation providing applicants met eligibility requirements, meaning the 4 that I have explained earlier. The third thing would be is a form and a worksheet required for employment authorization, which meaning the green card and like a permit for you to work in the United States. And also a fee of $495 that I explained earlier. And an application is in order. Applicants will get an appointment at the local application support center, and this just provides them with biomedical data, and it includes fingerprints and just like background checks and all that, so they don't think that they had a criminal record in the past. And now Jordan here is going to give you some views on DACA.
So, Professor Ellis, to start things off, I'm going to give you two views. I'm going to give you views on the Democratic side, as I mentioned in the introduction, and on the Republican side of the spectrum. So, as Sue mentioned, she said that DACA was signed under executive order under President Barack Obama, and that is true. But when you think about that, we have to think that President Barack Obama was of the Democratic Party. So, this program is a Democrat baby, I would say, to speak, meaning that this program was born and bred by a Democratic father and then nurtured by its mother, which is the Democratic class, and then thus so many DACA recipients becoming Democratic voters and using those votes to ensure that this program be safe. So according to Debt Row, so the only process of getting DACA legalized, so to speak, in the Republicans' point of view, is simply creating a hard legislation, something that makes it legal. DACA is legal, so to speak, because it is providing the full citizenship for those citizens for those DACA recipients to become citizens. So therefore, it is some type of citizenship test, except it's only geared towards students and younger children because they want to be here and because they want to be full American citizens and thus flourish the economy. Just some statistics on DACA with the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party has significantly shown, research by Beto O'Rourke from the Houston Chronicle, typically shows that there's a certain amount of the economy, a certain percentage, like I think it's like 32% of the economy is made up of DACA recipients. Those recipients are continuing to boost the economy and make this economy more than what it is already. And so basically they're just trying to ensure that this isn't breaking the law, this is helping the law, and thus helping us eliminate our debt and things of that nature as well. Some other viewpoints on DACA. The process is currently being hindered because, according to Debt Row, in order to get a bill on the House and the Senate floor, Democrats may have to embrace a position that many leaders aren't comfortable with. Basically meaning that they're going to have to make some cuts in order to work with the Republican Party. I believe the Republican Party wants the Democratic Party to put up some money for Trump's wall. So the deal that he has going on is that the proposal that he's put in place, the alternative plan of DACA, this is going to the Republican side. The alternative is that he wants to create a 12-year citizenship program in order for these DACA recipients to then become citizens for that reason exactly. And then along with this, he wants his wall to cut down on illegal immigration. And so instead of us attacking the problem that's at hand within America, he wants to go ahead and attack the problem to prevent this from happening and prevent this to stop the overflow of illegal immigrants in our country. But we have this wonderful we have this program that's giving these students and these young people the opportunity to be citizens. And so the Republicans are just wanting to not focus on them at this point and just focus on securing our borders. So the Democratic viewpoint is they want to attack what's here at home first, protect those DACA citizens that are here, and give them an out of the situation that they're in now because they are benefiting the economy. The Republicans, on the other hand, want to create a new proposal and new legislation in order to increase the citizenship and increase the safety at the border. Thus, them looking at not the bigger picture and them just looking at the illegal immigrants and the crime rate that come with those, the crime rates that come with those illegal immigrants that do come over the border, instead of looking at the bigger picture of looking at how these children who have been going through the system, going through all of this trouble, like going through this turmoil, how they want to be here, how although they face deportation every day, they still want to be residents and they still want to be citizens of the United States. And things of that nature. So it's basically a mix of the two. So the way I look at it is that, to break it down and make it simpler, the Republicans just want money, essentially. And then the Democrats just want their freedom that they're entitled to. The Republicans, i.e., want money simply because Trump wants his border wall. That's not going to stop. He wants that wall to happen. So going back onto the Republican viewpoint, the party has been getting work as, so the Democrat, when Trump was elected in office, his first piece of legislation, his first thing to end was the DACA program. But when working with Democrats, he sat down and said, no, let's try to reform this or try to make legislation happen again. But then he went back on his word and ended the program in September of 2007, according to the New York Times. And so basically him going back on his word saying, oh no, I was just kidding, yee-haw, like, no, I don't want this program anymore. Instead of doing that, he came up with a different reformation in January of this year, the 12-year citizenship fixed program that he has set in place. And so, yes, he says that this is a better alternative to save DACA other than completely dissolving the program. this isn't a better alternative, but this is the alternative that he has set in place, and this alternative is what he believes is going to benefit Americans. So once again, we look at the Democrats as needing their freedom, and we look at the Republicans for just wanting money and to secure the borders. Thank you. Now I'm handing it over to John on ways how to get involved.
Well, good morning, Professor Ellis. There's a couple ways to get involved. I'm going to break it down kind of into 5 pieces. One is to educate yourself on the immigration process, which is a process that is being very talked about right now. If you're not 16, or like you have to be the age of 16 to consider yourself staying here for school or work, or like the 2-year process since June 17 of 2005. Get involved locally. With this, you can go to the community. You can, what is it? Hold on, give me 1 second. Locally. Go to rallies. Like, make sure that you are trying some way to get involved. Another way is to stay up to date in news, since it's highly talked about all over the world. You should stay up to date on like any of the news. They'll keep you informed about what the Democrats feel, how the Republicans feel, and also how Trump feels about the DACA process at the point. And contact your elected local representatives. That one speaks for itself on this one. And there's also get involved in social media. That one's a big one, since everybody uses social media nowadays. Twitter probably has a lot about the DACA process. I think. Also hashtags and stuff like that, etc. Sorry, I'm nervous. And I think that is it for my slide. Also. Okay, the conclusion. Therefore, in conclusion, the DACA program benefits students and young people. The immigration process has always been a unique situation in our country, but it is still, I'm sorry, I don't know if you can see, but it is still talked about till this day. Also, as a group, we find it only morally fitting that DACA been thoroughly explained and understood, and that is our little presentation for you. Thank you.
So we hope we informed you on DACA, and we just want to say this is it for our presentation, and we hope you have a great day. And I personally want to thank you for being a great professor to us, and just always accommodating to us, I guess you could say.
Again, we apologize that we are in Marion Jeff Bell, but have a great, I guess, since you're not teaching this semester, have a great rest of your life. I don't know how to put that, but thank you so much again. Like Sue said, I really do appreciate everything you did do for us. Go Durs.
I know we didn't talk that much, but I just want to tell you thank you for giving us opportunity as a group instead of pushing everybody aside. You were a great professor, and look forward to seeing you again. Somehow, I don't know. Not in class, but other than that, we're good.